Hey guys, it's Abigail Montgomery here from Infinite Health, and I actually stumbled upon something that's pretty fascinating. So I wanted to talk about duality and the opposite of duality, because when we get onto spiritual topics, we want to stop polarizing ideas, right? Like, duality is when you have opposites, typically, good and evil, up and down, and when we talk about oneness, we're talking about non-duality. So to me, this idea comes from the fact that our brains have two hemispheres, and they say in meditation we gain more brain matter, or rather the amygdala, I think, which is the part of the brain that kind of connects the two hemispheres, the feminine and masculine sides. We want to try and come from a more non-dualistic point of view by activating both sides of the brain. At least that's my understanding of it. And when I started trying to find a proper word or concept for this, I kind of got lost a little bit. So I was looking up the opposite of duality, and I was getting non-duality, and oneness is hard to describe, right? It sounds like a really simple concept, but when we think about what it takes in order to stop being separate from something else, while also, you know, being one with everything at the same time, it's kind of an elusive thought. I mean, it's simple, but it's difficult to describe at times, and I thought that this article from Life Without a Center really hit the nail on the head, and it says, what we were really pointing to when we use the word non-duality is something that goes beyond all of these mind-made opposites. But how can we talk about something that goes beyond opposites when even our attempt to talk about non-duality is dualistic? So what the word non-duality actually means is really difficult to describe or put into words. In fact, you could say it's impossible, for we are not talking about non-duality as opposed to something called duality. We're not talking about pro-duality as opposed to anti-duality. In fact, the non-duality we speak of is not the opposite of anything. This is impossible to understand logically or rationally. To see what is being spoken of, we must go beyond our ordinary way of thinking and seeing. And I think I stumbled on a whole other topic that I didn't really plan on talking about, and that is the image of perfection is impossible, right? Because in order for perfection to be possible, there must be imperfection. And so this to me is where religion really fell through, because how could we go to a place that makes so many people perfect when there's so many different images of what perfect is? And how can we be perfect if we no longer remember what it meant to not be perfect? Because then perfect would be normal, right? There would be no perfect because everybody would be it, right? And so the call to action I'm going to leave you here with today is try not to be perfect, and still strive away from trying to think of things as evil and good, because I think a third point of view is great. It gives yourself your own built-in mediator. It gives you a third-party perspective that you don't always have when we're stuck in a relationship or some emotional phase of something that just we're struggling with. And so that's where meditation really comes in, is helping us to separate ourselves from whatever's happening emotionally and view it from an outside perspective. I don't really agree with the idea that meditation should be like having no thoughts, but if you can do that, good for you. But I think that it's more about acceptance of the thoughts that we have and learning to drift from one to the next in a calm, accepting manner, as opposed to, you know, always trying to view everything objectively and subjectively. So that's my phone. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you later. Bye.